Hello indie game lovers, nerds and nerdettes, my name is Phoenix and this is Indie Game News. Today we look at base building and survival genre. Don't forget to check video description for additional information. Also my apologies for the lack of videos last month. As I explained in my Timecom video, there have been some things happening in my life that affected me quite a bit. I will make the update video next week, explaining everything. Okay, time for updates of already released games. Project Zomboid vehicle update is finally here in the main branch. Survivors of the Nox event can now drive vehicles and explore every nook and cranny of the vast Project Zomboid map. Vehicles are enhanced with the real physics and come with the all expected sundries, such as UI dashboards, headlights, expanded inventory space, car horns, air conditioning and car radios, and the capacity for breakdowns, part replacements and collision damage. Players will have access to 9 different vehicle models or availables to them in the game. You will be able to remove, repair and swap parts between vehicles of the same model. Vehicles must be topped up with gas, have charged batteries, and each variety of vehicles has its own set of replacement parts for the players to add to their chosen transport. To accompany vehicles, a mechanic profession and a skill has been added to the game, allowing for increased chance of successful part installation and trickier repairs. Keeping your vehicle up and running becomes a whole new minigame. It is now entirely possible to have remote base and raid surrounding cities from the safety of your van. In addition to the vehicles, Project Zomboid map has been extended, adding many new locations to explore. Surviving Mars Curiosity patch is here. Curiosity update is a quality of life patch for the players, making game more accessible to the new players and less tedious for the veterans. We'll see the 5-part tutorial, comprehensive tutorial separated into 5 thematic sections, introducing the core gameplay concepts in the different stages of surviving Mars. Curiosity introduces 5 new dome types. These are entirely new models with the new shapes, functionality and costs. We'll see Infobar provides a general overview of all the resources in the colony, including research progress. The players will have access to the command center. The command center is a handy new UI toolset that provides a historical data for a colony, an ability to inspect and manage multiple buildings, colonies and vehicles without selecting them individually. It has been developed as a part of the effort to reduce micromanagement and provide more informative overview interface for the certain gameplay aspects. Surviving Mars is currently sat on the mixed review score on Steam, so I strongly suggest that you take your time. There is enough videos out there to make informed decision before you buy this game. Frostpunk released on the 24th of April, and even though the game is fully released title, developers at 11-bit Studio live up to their fine reputation. We have now a roadmap of development for the future features in addition to the game. We'll see the survival mode, dedicated for those of you that seek extra challenge. You will be able to rename your citizen and automatons, and more customizations options are coming. You will get access to the new scenarios, the Builders. This is the most substantial update of 2018. A brand new scenario with its own story and challenge. Players have been asking for endless or a sandbox mode, and developers promise to bring endurance mode, their own personal take on these modes of play. Developers also promise to work more on the game next year as the part of development. And now the best part, each of these updates is planned as a free feature for the players. Okay, time to talk about the game released this May. Raft released on the early access on the 23rd of May. In Raft you will play as a trapped survivor on a, small raft. You start with nothing but a simple hook made of plastic, and slowly your job is to fish out scraps from the ocean and build and expand your raft. You will need to ensure you have enough drinking water, food and other resources in order to survive. You will need to balance the risk and the reward by scavenging reefs underneath your raft and avoiding danger of the hostile sea life. The game features online co-op multiplayer, crafting, building and research mechanics. Cliff Empire has been released on the early access. In the Cliff Empire you play in a world covered with the toxic fog. Anything up to 300 meters of the surface is deadly. Your job is to establish and expand civilization on especially created cliffs. You will develop a parallel economics of the several independent cities, and benefit from the trade between them and the orbital station. You will have to respond to dynamic climate changes that will test the strength of your cities. You will be able to choose between the ecological and harmful power supplies, discover 35 additional university research to improve your city structures, build 39 unique structures in your city, and produce goods for trade and consumption. The game features possibility of switching between the 3D and the orthographic camera, as well as a free camera for walking around the city. As you can see in the trailer, the graphics are very aesthetically pleasing and sharp. Cliff Empires currently sits at 88% positive review score on Steam, out of nearly 300 reviews submitted. Time for announcements. Dawn of Man has been announced to release this winter. In the Dawn of Man, you will take charge of the first modern human settlement and guide them from the Stone Age through 10,000 years of history all the way to Iron Age. You will start by simply hunting and gathering from the local fauna and flora. Over time you will expand and learn new technologies, unlock farming and animal domestication that will allow you to support larger population. You will need to plan for harsh times and gather enough food to last you through the winter. You will be able to raise ancient megalithic structures. The game is brought to you by developers of the Planet Base, and while this wasn't a bad game, and it certainly brought quite a few of you to my channel back in the day, it quickly became repetitive, and I am hoping that developers have learned their lessons and will give us more emergent gameplay. Our final announcement comes with no trailer yet, but I am excited and wanted to let you know ASP. Order of Magnitude have been announced by the Introvision Software developers of Prison Architect. The game will be set in the world where the Earth was destroyed, and your job is to rebuild civilization in space. Here is what Chris Daly, co-founder of Introvision Software, had to say about this title. At the moment we only got basics. Our aim is to simulate on the colony level and society level. This is not like a Prison Architect where every prisoner have their own mind and their own AI. You have hundreds, thousands of people in your colony and a general model of how they are behaving. The moon is where you start. It is like a refugee camp. It's been a very fast emergency evacuation from Earth, and the moon is where you're going to build your first refugee camp, your foothold, and then you will expand out from there. Prison Architect was about psychology and the psychology on individual prisoners. I want Order of Magnitude to be about sociology and how the colony is functioning. A really interesting problem that emerges when you reboot the race is children. When you have them and how quickly you have them and how you look after them. If you don't get it right, what happens is your colonies age because they are desperately trying to be fed and watered. They are too old to have children, or they get really old, so you have elderly population that can fix anything, and then you get a wave of 9 years old. I will keep you informed of the game development. In the meantime, in the video description there is a link to the PC Gamer article, where you can read more about the game and the interview with Chris. Okay guys, that's it in this month Indie Game News. If you know of any other games that should be featured in the next month update, or you release the game yourself, please contact me at writetoPhoenix@gmail.com or tweet to me at Phoenix_gaming. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe for more. Nerds and Nerdettes, my name is Phoenix and it was a pleasure to have you here. Take care.